Hi everyone, welcome to Bautista with stewiejp. I'm stewiejp and this is the little tier 4 Chinese light tank, the M5A1 Stuart. Could be named after me, I'm not really sure. But the Chinese tier 4 light tank being driven today by Blackjackx from 1AR clan. He's platooned up with his old mate Tri-Pedro. Pedro was in an absolutely awesome Type 64 battle in one of my replays not so long ago. They're platooned up in 3 tier 4 light tanks, 2 M5 Stuarts and 1 M5A1 Stuart. The M5A1 Stuart's the Chinese version. The M5, I think, what's the M5? It's been that long since I played tier 4, I would not have a clue. You can see Tri-Pedro going for a bit of a boost there. Looks like it's American. That's what I was zooming in there for. And of course the Chinese version has got 70 damage, 81 penetration for standard rounds, 130 penetration for APCR rounds, which is a pretty big difference. And you can see Blackjack, Tri-Pedro and Nick FTW1234 from What University Southeast Asian clan. They've gone up into the middle of the map on Fjords. Takes his first shot at the M3 and misses. Puts a shot in there. Nick gets taken out early, unfortunately, but he did a great job lighting up those tanks in the centre of the map. Blackjackx bounces a shot from the looks and picks up his first kill, getting rid of the M3 Stuart. And unfortunately, one of their tier 3s gets taken out. They're 127. Bounces a shot from the PZ38 NA German light tank and puts a few shots into him. He's already picked up 318 damage, which is almost 318. Might not sound like too much, but it's almost the hit points of his vehicle, which you'd say that he's probably having a pretty good start. Anyways, he starts shooting towards a tier 4 German. Always good to get rid of a top tier tank on the enemy side. Top tier at tier 4. There's the Hetzer now. He wants to be careful of that Hetzer. A lot of people like playing the Hetzer. It has got a pretty derpy gun. And a lot of people who like low tier games love the German tier 4 tank destroyer. 3 L's the score. He's done 458 damage. He's blocked a bit and he's spotted a bit as he pulls back behind this rock, trying to make himself unspotted from the Hetzer. Looks like he might be setting himself up for a bit of a flanking move. Oh, he wants to even kill him. That's 2 kills for Blackjackx from 1AR clan. 505 hit points of damage. He's blocked a little bit. And now he's looking at that looks. He tracks him, which is a good idea. And now he just wants to get some damage out of the tier 4 German light tank. Of course, that looks with its little machine gun can be very dangerous indeed. A little bit like the Panzer 1C with its little machine gun. But Blackjackx, he's picked up his 3rd kill, but his teammates are dying at the same rate that he's killing the enemy tanks. They're just getting picked off all over the place. Tri-Pedro does a beautiful little flip. It is a little light tank as they both focus fire on the Panzer 1C. It shouldn't be too hard to penetrate the little German quick firing light tank. The score's on 7-10. They need to do something to turn this game around. That M8A1 tank destroyer looks like he's about to be surrounded by these little light tanks. So Blackjackx and Tri-Pedro are going to get in there and try and clean up these enemy tanks. That shot didn't really have a shot there. Looks towards the Samoa S35 tier 3 medium tank. The French one, I reckon it might be. 811's the score now. 947 damage, which is already on the way for an absolute ripper of a game on Fjords in this little tier 4 Chinese light tank, the M5 Stuart. Contrary to popular belief, it's not named after me. Named after some other prick that probably did a lot of stuff in the war. 8-12 the score now. It's 3 versus 7. They need to do something to turn this game around. Somebody's capping. Unusual to see somebody cap when the score is such as it is now. Waits for that Chinese gun to load. Bounces a shot from the Panzer 1C. Picks up his 5th kill of the game. Blackjack's having an absolute ripper here. Even though it's only a tier 4 game, credit where credit's due. He's trying his best to carry this hard with his old mate Tri-Pedro. Tri-Pedro moving up the eastern side now. And now it's 2 versus 6. Looking for a shot on that M2 medium. And he's not getting lit here. He's just abusing his camouflage, being in a light tank, and trying to put some damage onto these tanks. Good tracking shots into the STRV M40L. He knows he's still tracked, so he puts in a blind shot. Doesn't manage to pick up the kill. Still 2 versus 6. 9-13's the score. 5 kills to Blackjackx. 1,159 hit points of damage. Moving forward just enough to spot these enemy tanks. And you can see him moving his gun sights around looking for a killing shot on these enemy tanks. A lot of those enemy tanks are low health. At least 2 of them are one-shots. That M2 medium and STRV M40L. They're both one-shots. And that's what he's hoping to do. Hoping to bring this deficit down. 9-13's a score. 1156 damage. 133 blocked. A little bit of assisted damage as well on Fjords. And he's just kicking back here. Lucky enough to have all of his health up his sleeve. And try Pedro on full health as well in the American version of the M5 Stuart. No need to go rushing in. He's just going to kick back in these bushes, hoping to get vision on these enemy tanks as they come around. You can see there's another platoon on the enemy side with cruisers and a locust in there. And as we know, the STRV M40 and the M2, both one-shots for Blackjackx. And he's on 5 kills, so he wants to make sure he gets a top gun in this battle. Nice shot into the last remaining tier 4 tank on the enemy side. Takes him down to a one-shot as well. Try Pedro picks up his first kill, getting rid of the locust. 10-13 now. All of a sudden he knows a lot of those tanks are on low health. He cops one shot from the PZ38NA, but he picks up his 6 kills. Conferred the top gun. The enemy team are still shooting towards him. Bounces a shot from the cruiser too, up in the northeastern part of the map. Now that tells me that's they're platooning those 2 guys, so there could be 2 tanks coming up the east, or coming down the eastern flank. So Try Pedro moves forward, trying to get some vision on those British light tanks, I think it is. There they are. There's another one. Gets rid of the cruiser 4. There's that M2 again. Looks like the entire enemy team might have gone up there. Try Pedro picks up 2 kills, making his total to 3. Blackjackx on 7 kills, and now all of a sudden it's 2 versus 1, and they've got to go hunting for that STRV M40L, the tier 3 Swedish light tank. Correct me if I'm wrong. Aim. Thank you very much. That's 8 kills to the Blackjackx, 3 to Try Pedro, and they turned that one around on Fjords very, very nicely. As we have a quick look at the post-game battle results, it's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for Blackjackx from 1AR clan. He also picked up the Bruiser medal, the 5 for effect for doing more damage than his hit points, High Caliber for doing the most damage out of anyone on his team, at least 20%, the top gun, and of course a crucial contribution for getting 12 kills in a in a platoon, which is something I didn't really notice until... That's interesting. Crucial contribution. Platoon that kills 12 enemy tanks. Oh, of course, Nick got 1 kill early, so there you go. 8 to Blackjackx, 3 to Try Pedro, 1 to Nick. That gave him a crucial contribution medal, 1,089 base experience, 36 shot fired, 20 hit, 23 went through, 1348 damage, and a tidy little profit at tier 4, nearly 27,000 credits with a premium account in the M5A1 Chinese tier 4 light tank, the M5A1 Stuart. As we move on to this second game of this double shot of tier 4 action, this one's been sent to me from the YouTubeGamer from Banff Clan, and he is in his little duck tank. Have a look at this little thing. I remember when I had this tank years and years ago, it was the biggest pain in the ass I have ever had. It's a tank that I really didn't like, but it's a light tank. You can see, look at the armour. The armour's very, very, very well rounded. You can bounce shots all day in this tank. The gun isn't too bad actually. 110 damage, 74 penetration, 91 penetration for the heat rounds. As YouTubeGamer moves down the Sand River on the Sand River map, lucky enough to be top tier in this game. Just 5 tier 4 tanks on each team, and YouTubeGamer doing the job, spotting for his team, moving into the central part of the map, trying to look for look for some opportunities to kick a bit of ass in his little tier 4 French light tank, the duck tank. Pardon me. Finds the LTB. LTP, I should say. Picks up some assisted damage onto the PZ4D. Moves around, uses his armour well. Gets a shot into the tier 4 German medium tank and waits for the gun to reload before he picks up his first kill of the game. Bounces a shot from the Type 95, which I know what you're thinking. There's no Type 95s on the enemy team. That was from a friendly tank, and he's angling his tank so he can bounce shots from this tier 3 Japanese heavy tank, and he's trying to get rid of that one. There's plenty of tanks here. He's bouncing shots all day. He's bounced 569 damage. He's got plenty of assisted damage. Picked up 2 kills. And now he's looking at this LTP. Picks up the ram kill, which is always a good feeling, but he is down to 86 hit points, so he wants to be very, very careful. Doesn't wait for the gun to aim. Fires clutch towards the PZ3E. It looks like a tier 3 German thing. Bounces another shot from the PZ38, which somebody else kills. One of his teammates crashes, and the YouTubeGamer is already on 3 kills. 6-2's the score, so he's not stuffing around. He's not going to sit back and snipe. He's going to get stuck right in. He's got his one of the few French tanks that is known for its armour, the little duck tank, the AMX 40. But of course, as you can see, not known for its speed. Struggling to do more than 10 kilometres an hour up this hill, which it's not the steepest hill in the game, but is moving forward and spotting these enemy tanks for his team. Doesn't worry about aiming, and he lands a shot into the LTP, the learn to play, is what it used to be called. Ammo racks in, picks up the kill, picks up a little bit more assisted damage as well into that PZ3E. Doesn't manage the kill on that one. 4 kills, 787 damage, 650 damage blocks, 684 assisted damage, and with the score on 8-2, you'd be pretty confident that this one's going to be a win. He just wants to make sure he stays alive and gets a little more damage. He's not waiting for his gun to aim, just keeping moving forward to keep that bison lit. Firing clutch, of course, not. You can see how inaccurate the gun is, so he stops this time, puts a shell into the tier 3 artillery piece, waits for the gun to load, really get the kill shot. Not at this stage. Sits on the enemy cap. Just a Hetzer, a bison, and a GRTR, and an Electo left over. Can't say no too much about any of these tanks. Been a long time since I've played tier 4s, but the YouTubeGamer looks like he's having a ripper. He's on 4 kills, 910 damage, 650 damage block. He really wants to kill on this bison. Fires clutch, misses. It sounds like the tier 3 artillery just fired the German, I reckon it might be. There's his 5th kill of the game. Now that Electo hasn't been lit yet. Could be anywhere. Pretty good chance he's not down in the corner because these other medium tanks came this well. The GRTR. No idea what the GRTR. TR probably stands for tractor. I'm not sure. It looks like he's not going to go for the top gun on this occasion. He's sitting on the enemy cap circle, or he's just going to hope that his gun aims when that Panzer 1C lights up whatever he might see up there. Good chance the Electo's up there in the northwest corner. 3 tanks. 3 tanks on the cap circle now. He wants to move off. He doesn't want to. He wants to make sure he picks up a top gun here. Shoots and just misses the Electo, aiming towards the Groll tractor. Will this be a top gun? Takes him down to 24 health. That's right, just aim there. You should get it. Doesn't manage to pick up the top gun, and it looks like those other faster tanks are going to get rid of the Electo. Still 3 tanks capping, but it doesn't matter. The Panzer 1C picked up the kill on the tier 4 British tank destroyer. And in the end, it's today's Tanker Mastery Badge for the YouTubeGamer from Banff Clan in the little AMX 40 Tier 4 French duck tank. You also got the shell proof for having all that block damage, demolition export for that ammo rack that he did early on in the game. Fired up, fire for effect, and the high caliber. Unlucky not to get the top gun, but have a look at that result. 1,034 damage, 5 kills. More than double the damage what anybody else on his team did, and nearly 5 times the damage what anybody else did, or 4 times the damage what anybody else did on the enemy side. Handy profit too, just under 28,000 credits with a premium account. He fired 19 shots, 11 hit. They all did damage, so nothing wrong with the little French duck tanks gun, and not a bad result. A couple of Ace Taker Mastery badges at tier 4. Blackjackx from 1AR Clan, and the YouTubeGamer from BAMP. Thanks very much for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm stewiejp. You're not. Take care. See you all next time.